Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening PIB videos they come, and the PDF you will get on the Telegram channel and on my Facebook group. So 22nd of March, only 1 week is left, and you see the biggest thing that you need today is the patience. If you will have patience, you would be able to control your stress, your emotion, your anxieties, and this is the time where winners are going to be decided. Winners, those would be who would be controlling their particular performance, and consistently they will move towards their goal. And it doesn't matter how much you complete, but you go in a consistent manner and in a manner where you are digesting whatever you are reading. Otherwise, just reading will not suffice. Otherwise, it would be total indigestion of the information. So you need digestion today. So go slow but go consistently, and whatever you feel that is difficult, repeat that twice or thrice in a concise manner. So that is all a tuning that you have to do. So this is how it is going to be, and let's see how you people do it and how many of you are making it up to the mains phase. And these are the numbers there you can call, and you can ask for these pen drive courses by StudyIQ. Very important courses are there. Updated UPSC courses also launched, and holy sale is also going on, and I think 23rd, tomorrow is the last date. 60% off is going on. ICE Stupa initiative, recently a stamp was released regarding that, and you see it's a unique initiative because in the area of Ladakh, or maybe in the hilly areas, all hilly states, we think that there is plenty of water, snowfall is there every year, but you see they always face a severe drinking water crisis. They don't have these ponds and all, and whatever water is available, that will flow down to the plains. So that is why it's a huge problem. So Sonam Wangchuk, he is the founder of Himalayan Alternative Institutes, and he actually started this particular initiative where they collect the heaps of these ices, and this particular stupa of ice, it holds water, and throughout the year it supplies drinking water to these poor villagers there. And Ladakh, as you people know, it is called as cold desert. Okay, it's almost a similar condition that you would see in African or Thar desert, where water availability is not there. So the same thing is there. Water availability is the biggest problem here, because the whole amount of water or the streams and all, they will flow down, and nothing is left for these people. So that is why this is going to be very, very important here, and it has got many awards, and it has got a lot of attention from the international community also. Environmental conservationists and all, they all have praised this particular move. Next, Economist Intelligence Unit has released the report of the Worldwide Cost of Living Survey 2019. World's most expensive city or cities are actually 3 cities are on the first rank: Paris, Hong Kong and Singapore, according to their own ranking system and scoring system. New Delhi is among the bottom cities. It has got the 125th rank. Okay, 125th rank. So New Delhi is not on the top, and Paris, Hong Kong and Singapore is the answer. So D, none, is going to be the correct one here. Next, UNISDR. This was created in December 99. That is right, and it is the successor to the Secretariat of the International Decade for Natural Disaster and Reduction. You see, United Nations as a body, it declares any decade specific to a topic, means it dedicates that particular thing. You can see the example that 2011 to 20, it is International Decade for Biodiversity, and in the same period the HE biodiversity targets, these are also going on, and 2021 to 30 is going to be International Decade for Ecosystem Restoration. Okay, and the same period would be for Decade for Oceanic Science for sustainable future. So it was regarding a natural disaster reduction, and this particular secretariat of this particular decade, this was there earlier, and the successor has become the UNISDR. Regarding this disaster reduction, we have talked much in the last 2-3 days, and C both is going to be the answer here. Both the statements are correct. Next, these are words that I found today, and let's start with the articles today. The Delhi edition is not there, and I've taken these articles from the Chennai edition. So I've chosen one, and one article is regarding the Islamophobia and the terrorist attack on New Zealand. Whatever message that has been there after that, it is regarding that. So you need to read that article first. We will discuss it on Sunday. Tomorrow it will be off. I have taken off, and I will be available on Sunday again. Okay. So this article is regarding free speech. It's a very, very important essay topic. Almost every year we have this particular topic directly or indirectly regarding free speech, regarding expression, regarding elections, regarding democracy. So all topics are making the basis of this particular article. And you see this particular essay topic, so important for GS paper 4, important for GS paper 1, important for GS paper 2, and the essay topic. Here the writer very smartly, he has put some things, and in simple words, if we understand the essence of this article, he simply talks about freedom of expression. And you know, expression can be of anything. Expression can be of opinions, expression can be of speech, and there can be counter questioning to the government, to the establishment, and elections are also a kind of a great expression. Opinion expression means you are casting a vote in a free and fair election. That's a real legitimate example of freedom of expression. That is totally your decision based on your conscience. And you see, many kinds of freedoms are there. Freedom to speak, write, think, to imagine, to live our lives, to eat, and what we want, and all these things. But the issue here is that when you express something, then legally, or the provisions which are there in the constitution, according to that, the burden is not on the speaker actually, or we would say that it's not a kind of a burden, that it is the responsibility that is more on the listener. Means if some speaker is saying that is not offensive, or we may say that may be offensive to some person, but we may say that is legitimate, and legally there is no problem with the speech, then the responsibility is more with the listener, that he does not try to suppress the speaker. This protection is given to the freedom of expression. It is not like that that freedom of expression is absolute and we can say anything, and automatically some things are understandable. Means if someone is commenting on a particular topic and suddenly he starts to speak about philosophy or religion, then it's a kind of a bizarre thing, and it's illogical. So automatically, naturally, there are many indirect constraints to our speech or our expression. Okay, but if some things are legitimate, if you are questioning someone, if you are trying to criticize someone, then it is the right of speaker that he can express, he can have these kind of opinions, but the protection should be given by the listener, because it is given in the constitution under article 19, that he would not be offended that much that he would try to suppress, or he would try to threat that person. That is actual freedom. And if threat is there, and if I am not able to talk because of that threat, that means the freedom of expression is gone, and that is under threat. And here you see, media is a great culprit today. What they are trying to do here, you see, freedom of expression is not suppressed directly. Indirectly also you can create that kind of public mood. You can provoke people psychologically. And you see, always you don't tell lies. Always you don't have to tell lies. These days they have very smart ways. They will interpret some things in a very wrong manner. So directly you cannot confront them. Okay. because these people are so smart. They are just interpreting the thing in a way that would provoke people, that would change people's mind. So the same kind of aim is achieved where you would have lied. Here you are interpreting in a wrong manner, but the same aim is achieved. So that thing should also be discussed. And I'm putting here that we can write this thing, that because this thing is very much apparent today, and it's the greatest threat to our democracy, and this thing should reach up to Supreme Court, because there is no particular action on this thing. The way they provoke people, the way they put headlines and put question mark after that, and the way they interpret everything in a manipulative way, that is dangerous. And here you see, by these ways, what they have done, they have actually removed that thin line which separates the personal attack by expression, and at one side there is criticism of the government or the questioning to the government. Okay, so there is a very thin line here. What they have actually interpreted, any kind of questioning, any kind of criticism is if it is there for the government, then they have interpreted it as a personal allegation. In the case of our Prime Minister, everything that you put a question or something like that, then they actually distort this thing in a way that it is a questioning, it is an allegation, it's a personal attack on the Prime Minister. This thing is happening, it is an apparent thing. It is not given in the article, but the meaning says the same thing, because he wants to put these things in a covert manner. But we need to understand these things with examples and in the normal terms. So this is happening. And you see, when the Hindu published these documents of Defense Ministry and they were for the public, then they are trying to apply here the Official Secrets Act, and that is so drastic. Official Secrets Act means it's a draconian law of Britishers. They used to put it, and now they are putting it. Means it's again a curb on the expression, because the Hindu, it is not doing anything for itself. It is putting these things in the public domain so that people can know about the pricing issues and the mechanism that was followed here. And there was nothing against the national security, but the way they put it, the way they interpret it, and the media houses, which are really not neutral, they are totally biased. So they, in a way, they are interpreting everything. That means they are actually destroying the system of democracy, where there is no opposition and only government is there. And this thing is happening apparently openly. And these days in these debates, every mood, every psychological expression, every interpretation is in favor of a particular party and anyhow mock others. So this is also a great level of curb on the expression. You see, as this thing is clear that there is an established opinion that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. What does it mean? It means that there is a fear that whoever wields power, he tends to be corrupt. So every time, because of this fear, there are questions. If anything that is suspicious, if anyone says that sell pakodas, become a chowkidar, nobody wants to go there by their choice. Nobody wants to sell pakodas, or nobody wants to become a gatekeeper by his choice. It is all conditional. It's all a mockery of the poverty. And here they interpreted that somebody is insulting chowkidars or somebody is insulting pakoda sellers. Nobody is insulting them. Even they say that we don't want our children to come into this particular profession, because in India till now these are symbols of poverty. Means if you are poor, then you are bound to do these menial jobs. Okay, you are working in the construction sector, you are selling something like pakoda or something like that, you are becoming a chowkidar. These things are not by choice in India, and that is why it is not hard to understand. And you see, when these kind of channels, these kind of options are given by the establishment, then the question arises, and then people question. And if questioning is there, then certainly it would be counted as a criticism. Okay, because if there is no question, there is no answer to the question, then it would be criticizing. But this criticism is actually the duty in the democracy, because there is a reason that people choose government. Okay, I am enlarging this whole article in a way that you can understand everything that he wants to say here. How freedom of expression is troublesome. Maybe you think that it is against a party, but I'm saying these things on a basis of logic. Means any kind of party can be there in power. Maybe some other party would have been here. Then the same expression would have been here, because it is not in the line of democracy. You see, in democracy, people choose representatives among themselves, and they would form the government. So these people are not, they have not descended from the skies. These people are from among us, and we are doing our own work. So this managing task is given to the executors or these government people, so that they can manage everything. So that is why we hand over them some authority. So the power lies with them. Power is not there with us. So that is why the questioning is very, very important, because accountability is there and it should be there, but they don't want to be accountable. No government, no party, they don't ever want to be accountable. But it's a kind of a limit crossing of curbs on freedom of expression, any kind of expression, any kind of opinion, any kind of thing that you see today. And you see, rumors, gossips, fake news, deliberate lying, they can be hidden under the guise of free speech. And you see, this is not only criminals or the antisocial elements who are spreading lying and all. People sitting on very important positions, they are deliberately lying. Means some things which can be proved as wrong, those things are being said on the national platforms. So that is a very dangerous time and time of misinformation. Here, this kind of culture is called iconoclast culture, where you do not believe in any icons, and you are actually skeptical about everyone, because after some time, sometimes you would believe a particular phase, you would believe some particular people, but after that, when the truth will come out, you will be skeptical for everyone. So that is how debilitation, they are debilitating the people, and the context is of the expression. So that is how the questioning of the government, questioning to the government, is the duty of people in the democracy. If that thing is interpreted as offense, then it's really a dangerous thing, and it is totally against the freedom of expression given under Article 19. Okay, so that's the thing, and this is all given here with different words. The highlighted ones you can read in the PDF, but the actual meaning says that. And again, I'm telling you, it is not political. It is in the context of democratic values, the way governments should respond and the way the people should respond. And every time the ruling government is questioned, because the burden lies on them, they are ruling, so they are only going to be the answering ones, because they wield power today. This blame cannot be shifted to some other party or to some opposition or something like that, because they are not ruling. You people are ruling, so the questions would be dedicated to you. If you are interpreting these things with the help of media, that every questioning, every particular expression is a kind of a offensive language against somebody, then it's a problem. Okay, so as I told you, you can write a huge essay on this particular topic. It is not about any party, it is not about any person, it is about democracy, and democracy features every time in the essay topic, in specifically part 2, I must say, where some psychological issues are there, or some democratic value based issues are there. So there you can write important points here, and direct points are being given here by the writer. Very solid and very important points, that how these things are diluted, and how important it is to safeguard the most cherished democratic principle. And accountability is important, why it is so much important, and why the importance is increasing day by day. So this is all. Next, back on track, it is regarding India and Maldives relations. GS paper 2 would be important here. And you see, we have a certain history. We have helped Maldives many times. Sometimes it was a situation of coup in 1980s. That time also we sent our forces there and we saved their government. And you see, Mohammad Nasheed, he was having a pro-India stand, as his party, Maldivian Democratic Party, is said to be pro-Indian. And the collaboration and the particular that we say that repo with India is good with this party. They were in power before 2014, and after that Yamin's government came, and when Yamin's government came, then they actually prosecuted Mohammad Nasheed, and he was sent on exile, and still he is out. And in September 18 last year, means 2013, Nasheed was in power, and after that Yamin came, and in September 18, this was the historical election in Maldives. Now Mr. Ibrahim Solih has assumed the power, and in these 5 years, 13 to 18, it was a particular phase where Yamin's government was pro-China, and they took huge loans, and that was the same approach that China has normally, that it traps these countries, small countries, in debt, and it dominates their working government, administration, judiciary, everything. And still Maldives is struggling with that. In these last five years, Maldivian felt that it was the stifling embrace of China by Yamin's government, and now by a help of coalition, and Ibrahim Solih has assumed the power again. And it is a good news for India, because their party MDP is a pro-India party. So we are expecting many good things here, but we cannot ignore the Indian Ocean region, the importance of it. You see, they are struggling a lot with this Chinese financing and this debt trap of $3 billion. So that they have to manage, and it's not so simple to get rid of China there. And you see, China with its full force trying to circle India in this Indian Oceanic region. This, you see, this Gwadar port is here, and Hambantota of Sri Lanka, and Myanmar's Sitwe port. Everywhere China wants its dominance, its presence, and anyhow it wants to circle India here, because India is extremely important rival for China, and because US always wants India to go in its particular group where USA is totally against China. It wants to play a game here where China is becoming a bigger rival, and it wants to contain that. So India is important for US here, because India is neighbors to China. Now in this situation where rivalries are going on and the links are so far away, Maldives become very, very important, and the position of it. Here you see Lakshadweep Sea is there, Lakshadweep Islands are here, and it's archipelago of islands in Maldives. The main occupation of the people, it all depends on tourism sector. Okay, so tourism is the biggest industry there. Their economy is based on tourism, and nothing else is much more important. So they are inviting many investors always. So these things are going to be beneficial for India, and they know, all these countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Maldives, they all know that China actually traps us, but India is not having those kind of intentions. So that thing is good, but the investment capacity is not that much huge with India. So that is why it's not easy for these countries to balance India and China there. But you see, here when government is changing and the pro-India stance is being taken by the new government, and we have relaxed some visa requirements, we have signed some MOUs in energy efficiency area, renewable energy areas, and some are critical agendas of Mr. Solih. So these can be very positive steps. Okay, and Mohammad Nasheed, who is going through this exile, he also raised these issues that Supreme Court is meddling in the elections, and some elections are not fair. But anyhow, they came to power, but it's a coalition government, so the political pressure remains there, and we need to see what kind of developments there would be. So it's a kind of a total situation explaining a document in this article, and we should have this information with us till mains examination, because they may ask you about the India Maldives relations, because Maldives is very much important for us. Okay, so that is the thing, and rest of the things we will take on Sunday. And you see all these facts, some are in the newspaper, some are in the PIB, some are there. So I am converting them into MCQs, because according to me this is the best way. If you are reading the text and if you are going through these articles or going through these facts, hardly would remember anything. But if you have solved MCQ even once on that topic, that thing would be fixed on your mind. And especially for the prelims examination, this is the best way. Since I started teaching, this is the best method according to me for the prelims examination. So these MCQs are extremely important. Try to find the additional data here, and these are going to be important. We will discuss them day after tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be off for me, and we will take important things on Sunday. And the PDF you will get on my Facebook group. The Telegram's link is also given there, so you can send me a request and you can join the Telegram group. Daily I upload these PDFs. Thanks a lot. Keep watching because I'm insane.